Back in August at D-Day Ohio 2025, I had a chance to sit down with Adrian, the guy who actually got me hooked into the French Resistance reenacting hobby. He's been at this for over 20 years and has some great experience, incredible stories, tips and lessons to share, from building authentic kits to just living the hobby. We're going to dive into how he started from building his kit and how it evolved over the years, and then a few moments that will probably make you laugh. So let's jump into the conversation and I'll introduce you to Adrian. Okay, so today I have Adrian with us, and he's actually the guy who I can blame for getting me into reenacting. Yeah, we're going to talk to him today about French Resistance and how he got started. So, first off, why did you choose to portray French Resistance?
Well, my French ancestors settled in Boston in 1630. They were French Huguenots, and it wasn't safe to stay in France anymore because they want to stay alive. They moved to England, lived there for a few hundred years, and then came to Boston in 1630, and then Connecticut in the 1700s, and then in the 1800s they moved out to Ohio, the Connecticut Western Reserve. So my wife and I came here. We came to see the Lighthouse Cruisers auto car show. We saw it, we had a good time, but we were kind of losing interest in the car hobby. So we saw a sign at the pavilion saying there was a Normandy beach landing recreation. So I love history. I taught history. I said we got to see that. So we came back on Saturday. We got here early in the morning and spent the entire day here. And the sun was going down. And I looked at my wife and I sort of did my John Belushi impression. I said, "Honey, I got to do this." So she kind of laughed, and she said, "What's that guy over there?" I said, "Well, he's a paratrooper." She said, "How much is that?" She said, "Well, that's $1,500. She looked at me and shook her head and said, "You can't be a paratrooper. What's the guy next to him?" I said, "That's a little less than $1,000. She goes, "You can't be in the infantry." She pointed at somebody standing way far away. I said, "He's in the French Resistance." I said, "Oh, $200 or $300. And she looked at me and she said, "You're in the French Resistance." So I had a relative that died in France in late war, and his name was Bob Basket. He fought for the United States Army, and I kind of wanted to honor him. So that's another reason I chose to do this, and the other veterans as well.
And I'm guessing that was just like 2 or 3 years ago, right?
This was in 2003. Yeah, that's when we started, more than 20 years ago, and happy to come back. Now I have a grandson that's going to join in next year, so I guess I'm here for life.
Yeah, for life. It's not a prison sentence, though.
No, it's a joy to be here. I have so many friends I would have never had if I hadn't done the reenacting. And they're wonderful people. They're smart and talented, and they're fun to hang out with.
I think that's one of the best parts of reenacting is the people. Besides, the history's great, but the people, I think, is even better.
The camaraderie makes the whole thing. You meet somebody and then you end up meeting their whole family, and they all become like this big mega family that you have. It's quite a lot of fun. It's very rewarding, very rewarding.
As you've had years doing this, any tips for going about someone wanting to research an impression and put together a kit for like French Resistance?
Well, you would start off with a book called French Resistance, published by Osprey. It's a short book with lots of photographs, and that's definitely the primer. You got to read that first, and then there's a whole list of other books you can read. You'll find out about it as you get into it. Soldiers in the Night is a good one. It's a long book, but it's good. A lot of information in it. It's a good one to read.
So how'd you go about sourcing the parts of your kit? I know you've had a few years to put it together.
We went to Reading, PA, to a air show, World War II air show, and there's a lot of vendors there, and we shopped around and bought a lot of stuff and brought it to D-Day, weapons and clothing and all sorts of things.
And how has that like morphed over the years?
I don't know if it's changed all that much, but you get different clothes, different weapons, and different hats, and different shoes or boots, and every year there's something, some change or changes every year. It just progresses.
I think even this year I saw that you had a different weapon.
Yeah, I brought my German Luger I bought last year, and brought this along this year for the first time. And I had another one that I had yesterday.
I always enjoy like adding something to the collection.
Yeah, there's no end to the collecting. It's a true passion and a great hobby. Collecting weapons is a whole category, a whole different category.
What's the most challenging item to find that you've used in your kit?
Real clothing from the World War II area that fit. It's very difficult.
Wait, did you get that from the Reading Air Show, or?
We went back there several years, and we haven't been for a long time, but we went there and bought more things in the future. And yes, we went there. Brad Baranowski is like the second member of our group. and we bought a bicycle, and he had to ride in the back seat of a sedan with a bicycle in his lap all the way back from Reading to Ohio. It was quite a challenge.
And what advice or nugget of wisdom would you give someone looking to get into this hobby?
Gee, I really don't know. It's just follow your heart. Something you think would be fun to do, and if you could connect your family history to something that happened in the 40s to what's happening here at D-Day, that's the best. Some relative fought in World War II.
And over the years, do you have like some prime favorite memories from reenacting as French resistance?
There are too many memories I couldn't begin to listen to all. I just recalled one funny thing that happened the first year I came here. I was the only guy doing French resistance. Now we have about 50 people signed up. That year, I was standing on the bluff near the beach, and it was getting dark. Sun's going down. Actually, the sun was already down. It was getting pretty dark. I was surrounded by 3 German soldiers, and I couldn't think what it was. They said, "Where did you get that German Luger?" I said, "I got it from a fellow who wouldn't be needing it anymore." And they looked at me kind of quizzically, and I knew they were going to do some kind of reaction. So very quickly, I took my rifle butt, which is slung over my shoulder, and whacked the guy, fake whacked him in the head, and butted the other guy in the stomach, and faked to pull the trigger, and then hit the other guy with the butt of the gun. So I got all 3 of them in a couple of whacks and escaped. I'm here to tell about it.
That's what you want to do, survive.
I survived the encounter. They did as well. They lived to fight another day, but not that day.
Any other things that you can think of at this point?
I could probably write a book, but I don't have time.
Well, thank you, Adrian, for joining us today and for sharing some of your experience.
Thank you. I met you as a talented young man. I could see you would make an asset to the group, and I recruited him very heavily, and now he's doing a wonderful job.
Now I'm hooked, and you're to blame.
Yeah, and his family's in it now, too. I'm sorry. I apologize.
I owe Adrian a big thanks for taking the time to sit down with me and share his story, his advice, and the lessons that came from over 20 years of reenacting the French Resistance. Whether it was tracking down the right gear, connecting with history, or to just enjoying the camaraderie that comes within this hobby, moments like this is what reminds me why reenacting is such a great hobby and why I enjoy it so much. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Drop a comment down below, and if you are on a mobile device, check to see if the hype button's available and click that. It really helps the channel. Thanks for watching. This is Brave Builds, where history, kit, and reenacting come together to help us build a better understanding of their bravery because their stories deserve to be remembered.